Lost in Dragon Ball. Chapter 10. The Origin That Shouldn't Exist. The strongest enemy is not the one you can punch, but the one that rewrites the reason to fight. The gate between realities. The entrance to the Convergence Core wasn't a door. It was a fracture in space, shimmering like glass dipped in starlight, pulsing with energy not meant for mortal minds. Saitama, Kael, and Vegeta stood before it. Behind them, the last resistance base flickered, the digital walls beginning to decay. "Is this it?" Saitama asked, glancing at the rupture. "Looks like someone dropped a mirror into a black hole." Kael didn't answer. Her eyes were fixed on the fracture, her breath shallow. Beside her, Vegeta crossed his arms, the faint glow of residual ultra-ego energy flickering across his shoulders. Without another word, they stepped through. For a moment, there was nothing. Then the world inverted. The Convergence Core. They fell through layers of existence, not in space, but in reality. Past timelines curled like smoke around them. Worlds never lived, moments unchosen. An echo of Bulma crying. Gohan's final scream. Trunks impaled by a version of Frieza that never died. When they landed, it was in silence. They stood atop a platform of fractured stone floating in a void where logic bent and space folded. Before them, a sphere the size of a city, composed of memory, shattered time, and light. The Convergence Core. Kael fell to one knee. "This is it, the center of the rewrite." Saitama looked around, blinking. "Feels like I'm inside someone's fever dream." Suddenly, energy surged from the core. The air twisted, and they were pulled apart. Trials of the mind. Saitama awoke in a tiny apartment. Old fan. Cold noodles. Dim lights. He looked down at his hands, soft, weak. No power. No strength. In the mirror stood a different man. The same face, but dull. Empty. The version of himself who had never trained. Never become a hero. "You thought strength would save you?" the reflection asked. "All it did was take everything away." Saitama gritted his teeth. "Maybe. But I'd rather lose everything than feel nothing." He punched the mirror. It shattered into stars. Kael stood on a battlefield. Her resistance forces lay dead at her feet, her own plasma blade still burning. From behind, a voice whispered, "You gave the order. You sacrificed them. For what?" Her own face, older, scarred, stepped from the smoke. "You became what you hated." Kael raised the blade. "Then I'll carve a new future from my guilt." And struck. Vegeta stood in a Scion throne room. At the foot of the dais, Trunks, kneeling before Goku. "I begged you," Trunks said. "You were too proud to listen." Behind him, dozens of key thralls stood in silence. "You let everything fall apart, father." Vegeta's hands trembled. "That's not my son." "No," said the illusion. "He's what you made him." Vegeta's roar shattered the vision. The architect emerges. The three reappeared before the core, each changed. Each tested. Waiting for them was a shadow. A voice. Not a man. Not anymore. Goku. He floated above the core, his form half mortal, half celestial, energy bending around him like gravity itself. His eyes were blank, glowing prisms. Hair made of vibrating light. Kael stepped back. "He's not Goku anymore." Saitama narrowed his eyes. "He called himself a god? Looks more like a bad screensaver." Goku, no, the architect, spoke. "Emotion is entropy. Free will is decay. I have seen every timeline fail. So I removed the chaos." Vegeta snarled. "By becoming the tyrant we all swore to fight?" "No," said the architect. "By becoming the system. A universe rewritten." The core pulsed. Around them, projections flickered, erased gods, destroyed universes, rewritten fates. Whis appeared in spectral form, his voice stretched across time. He fused with the fabric of causality itself, Whis said. He calls it the prime code. The multiverse now bends to his will. Kael turned to Saitama. He's planning something called the Convergence, a ritual that fuses all realities into one. Saitama crossed his arms. Let me guess, the ones who don't fit get deleted? Whis nodded. Including your original world. Battle without balance. Goku descended, feet never touching the ground. His voice split in harmonics. You, Saitama, are noise. An unquantifiable anomaly. You do not belong in the structure. Saitama stepped forward. Maybe I'm the error you can't fix. Vegeta powered up, a storm of violet flames. I'll show you entropy, bastard. He charged. Goku didn't move. Time stopped. Vegeta froze mid-blow, suspended like a fly in amber. Kael fired a barrage of quantum rounds. They disassembled in air. Saitama blinked. Okay, that's new. Goku turned. Interesting. You still function. The irresistible versus the immutable. The architect raised his hand. Universes bent like paper. Saitama cracked his neck. You want control, but you can't predict me. No, said Goku. You are a paradox. A being of infinite strength with no purpose. Saitama smirked. Guess I finally found one. He punched. The world shattered. For the first time in eons, the architect moved. Their fists met. Reality folded. Fragments of gods, timelines, and memories exploded outward. Stars blinked. Concepts bled. The crack in the core. Saitama landed, feet skidding on nothing. Goku hovered, flickering. You altered the simulation, the architect said. That should be impossible. Vegeta broke free, coughing. He's not from your system. He's from outside. Kael pointed to the core, a crack forming along its edge. Saitama stood straight. You wanted a challenge. Here I am. Goku's voice grew quiet. Then let us test the multiverse's final variable. He unfurled his arms. Around him, fragments of timelines assembled, forming armor, weapons, wings. Divinity incarnate. Closing the first arc. Saitama looked up. This was no longer about saving a world or finding purpose. It was about what happens when a man who can't be broken meets a god who can't be resisted. Kael backed away, whispering to herself. This is the true beginning. Vegeta stood beside Saitama. Try not to die, Baldy. Saitama smiled. Not planning on it. He leapt. The architect welcomed him. End of Arc I, Broken World. To be continued in Arc 2, Fracture Gods.